Just general thoughts from practice today, kind of what you liked, what you didn't like?
Yeah, I thought the energy was great. There's so many things that need to get cleaned up just through the course of this whole spring. It's just not one day. But offense had some plays, defense had some plays. It is about coming together collectively and making sure that a team is executing, and it's not due to lack of execution on one end or the other. But, yeah, I thought it was a solid day. We're going to only get better from here. First day of actually tackling live, which is always usually a struggle for a defense just out the gate. So there's plenty of things to learn from the film, and excited to do that.
How much do you maybe feel like some of the energy kind of gets lifted a little bit when you get the full pads on, you get the sticks, you get the refs, and it kind of feels something like maybe a live game environment and kind of what they're all striving to play in August? Yeah,
the goal is that they come out here with enough energy, regardless if we're in no helmets, just to make sure that whether it's their volume in which they communicate with, or when we are in pads, the physicality in which they play with. So the other day we weren't full pads, and it was probably better energy than this day. So. Every day is a new day, and we got to reset ourselves and come out and bring our best.
Whether it's today or through the first few weeks, I mean, who are maybe one or two guys who have really stood out to you just from an energy standpoint or even from a performance standpoint that you feel like have really brought it every day and are kind of, maybe sticking out a little bit right now?
Yeah, I think Leon Neal has been a highlight, a guy that's come in here as a non-scholarship player and has earned a scholarship. He's every day has been on point competing, whether it's at wide receiver, special teams, Tucker Large, but I expect that out of him. Seen him enough. Hilborn, great leader, plays with great juice, especially for an older guy. And I'm really happy with certain aspects of units, and there's certain areas in which we need to continue to add depth and just get better overall.
So Leon got a scholarship this spring?
We put Leon on scholarship in the spring.
What was kind of that moment like for him and just kind of the reaction from the team? I know those are always kind of cool moments for everyone involved.
Yeah, I think it was a relief a little bit because he was wondering if it was going to happen, and he has earned every bit of that right now. So he just keeps coming out and keeps competing, and he's always ready to play, and he's always available, and he's usually the first guy in the line, and everything that you would say and what you'd want out of a starter right now he's doing, and he's setting the pace for the group right now.
I'm curious about Devin Ellison. How did he first get on your radar, and how has the spring been so far?
It's been good. I mean, he's learning. This is a completely different system, and the amount of coaches that are coaching him, and he is growing like a weed, and he's going to be a really good player here, and I'm excited for his future. There's still a lot of potential left in him to get tapped. So I'm excited for him and what he can do for us. He's a talented player.
I think Ram had, if not back-to-back sacks, there's like one play in between them. What have you seen on him this spring, and what kind of progress has he made, these last few weeks?
Yeah, Ram's been a huge part of this integration of, the two teams coming together, being accepting and being a great leader and being open, and he's really stepped into more of a leadership role than anything, but he's showing up, and he's really explosive. You could see that from day one.
You mentioned Christian's leadership. What has really stood out and impressed you about just the way he carries himself?
His energy. I mean, he's one of the guys that truly love football. I think when you love the work that goes into being great, I think it's it's a testament to just his work ethic, but he's always got a smile on his face. He's always encouraging his teammates, and then he'll call them out too, which is part of being a great leader as far as getting into a guy when they don't have a best urgency, or they need to lock in, or they need to focus harder. So I've been proud of him and what he's been able to do for the whole unit.
A small group of guys who are who are here before returners, but Christian and Brock are part of that.
Yep.
What does it mean to have guys that have that leadership, that decide to stay, that just kind of invested into the program?
Yeah, I think they've been huge for us as coaches, just guys to lean on that are kind of cornerstone players here in the program that have been here the entire time and want to stay here, want to end their career as a Coug. And Brock is another guy that's really stepped up and has been great for us as a coaching staff to lean on what has happened here in the past, and how did you guys handle certain things, and also just getting a vibe from those guys on the heartbeat of the team right now.
Halfway through spring, just about, just kind of what are some things that you need to see by the end of camp? Just be real confident.
confidence across the board, communication across the board, the ability to tackle in space, the ability to block and stay engaged on blocks, not hanging our heads after mistakes, the ability to reset ourselves and come out here and execute play to play. There's so many things that we would be here for a while. And I would tell you that if I felt like we were even closer, because I just believe in not thinking about, nobody's arrived yet. This is a couple practices into spring ball, and we need to continue to get better.
Have you seen growth from day one to now?
Oh, night and day. Night and day. Yeah, we're getting better. And we got a lot in right now. A little bit drowning them in install. Today, this was a heavy install day, so I'm curious to see the amount of mental errors that we had and see if their effort was impacted by the amount of install that is in right now.
What's the plan for the spring game right now here in a couple weeks?
Yeah, well, it's going to be more like a showcase. We will have like one-on-one segments. There will be some 7-on-7 skelly type settings, and then we're gonna keep the clock running based off of healthy bodies, but also keeping the team healthy. There's maybe nothing more important than leaving spring ball injury-free as much as possible. So that will be my focus. Is kind of similar to what you saw today, but maybe a little bit more team and maybe breaking it up just to give the guys breathers so they're not, gassing out and risking the potential of injury.
You mentioned first day of tackling. I know it's a whole different team, new coaching staff, but that was kind of an issue for them last year, was just tackling. What is your approach to that part of the game, and how do you make sure that's a strength, for the team?
Yeah, I think it's the angles in which you come in at. I think it's your base in which you come in at. There's a lot of guys, when you get nervous about missing a tackle, the natural thing is to stop your feet, get a wider base, put your arms out, and allow the guy like you're trying to box him out, and that's not really how we play defense. We're going to attack the hip full speed, trust the guy, my teammate's pursuit, and kind of overlap off of the angle in which the other guy's, shooting off of. So we will get better at that, and that is something that will be put into strength and conditioning through the, not necessarily that we're hitting, but the angles and coming out of breaks and having the right foot in the ground on contact. And those are all things that you can improve because it's really not a contact thing. It's more so a footwork and a technique thing.
And last thing, Kai was on crutches. Do you have any update on his status?
Yeah, he's just sprained his ankle and it's precautionary.